Good afternoon, Rotary Club of Cincinnatians. We are so glad that you are here, visitors and guests. As many of you know, healthcare is one of the focus areas of Rotary International, and the movement leans into healthcare. We in Cincinnati have leaned into healthcare in a big way this year with our AED project led by past President Steve King, putting AEDs in law enforcement cruisers all across our region. One of the sponsors of that program is Steve King for your leadership in that and your day committee. One of the sponsors of that program is Mercy Health. The health systems in this region have leaned together, being collegial like they always are. And we're hearing from the CEO of Mercy Health today. But let's begin this program like we do every week with our national anthem, led by Ariel Miller, accompanied by Janet Metzelar.
Gwyn, and from Mercy Health Bonsecour for his commitment to health and improve lives in our community. Please give us all the strength to serve. Amen.
You may be seated. Nicely done, Jane, during this Lenten season, keeping us alive in our prayer, inserting the four-way test in the middle of all of that. Let's celebrate, before we celebrate our visiting Rotarians and guests, let's celebrate our Rotarians who have birthdays today or this week. Before Atrium could not be here, he celebrated his birthday on Tuesday, but here with us today celebrating their birthdays on Sunday, Michelle Starr and Janet Metzelar. Happy birthday. All right, let's learn who our visiting Rotarians and guests are. Eric Petway, our Sergeant at Arms. Eric.
Thanks, President Doug. So I'm honored to announce 5 guests of Rotary Club Cincinnati, starting with 2 from Mount St. Joe University, my neck of the woods, Delhi, Ohio, go west side. We have Steve Almquist, if you could please stand. We also have Cindy Prohaska. Guests of Dr. Williams. Dr. Williams could not be here today, but sent both Steve and Cindy. We also have Matt Weiss from Heritage Bank. He's a guest of Michael Shasta. And wanted to let you know that his application is in to Rotary Club of Cincinnati, so we welcome those officials. We also have a visiting Rotarian from Glen, Illinois, Peter Soyton. Please stand. Welcome. And we also, from a guest of Kelly Collison, Rhonda Stargill from Breakthrough Cincinnati. Thank you for attending, and we welcome you as future Rotarians in our club, and enjoy the meal and the speaker. Thank you.
All right, please welcome our sponsor of the day, AAA, and representing AAA is our member, Cheryl Parker. Cheryl.
Thank you, Doug, and good afternoon, Club 17. I am Cheryl Parker, Director of Corporate Communications for AAA. We are proud corporate members of the Rotary. For those of you who don't know, AAA provides automotive, travel, insurance, and financial services to more than 64 million members nationwide. Like Rotary, we have a rich history that dates back to 1902, and we love that you have relied on us and trusted us for service over the years. We enjoy hearing stories about how members have gifted AAA cards to their kids and grandkids, and now, today we're also providing business memberships to companies that want to provide safety and peace of mind as an employee benefit to their associates. So I do have brochures at the table if you'd like more information after the meeting. I will be there. Lots of information about AAA. We appreciate this opportunity, and thank you again for trusting AAA.
There are so few Rotarians that only need to be called Owen. Literally, on his name tag, it just says Owen. So, Owen Rassman, please tell us about Euchre.
Thank you, President Doug. First of all, I was thinking about this on the way down here, how lucky we all are to be Rotarians, part of this club. I'm going to get to my point, but Camp Allen, volunteer opportunities like with Hucks, due days, Michael Schatzman's breakfast, more athletic things like pickleball and bowling. Bowlers. Bowled last night. We lost. The next more athletic, brain-wise thing, something that got me through college was euchre. And we play euchre once a month. It's the last Tuesday of the month. This month is this coming Tuesday. There is a email list of euchre players. It's about 60. We get anywhere from 20 to 30 people. It's a casual game. It's a $5 game. People win. Bring your food. Bring cookies. Bring your drink. It's always at someone's house. Well, I invited my sister, who's a retired nurse from Mercy, 50 years. She's been playing euchre for a couple of years. She hasn't been able to join Rotary, but she's sponsoring it on Tuesday. I'm helping her out. It's on the west side. I'm loud back there. general email to everybody in the club because it's good. You can come and learn how to play. People are very tolerant. It's not a big deal. It's a lot of fun. Anyways, this Tuesday, it's again on the west side. There's directions. We'll get all that to you. Thank you.
Awesome, thanks, Owen. Your club is in good financial condition. Giving you an update about that condition is our Treasure West motto, as well as some insights to our recent club survey. Wes?
Thank you, President Doug. It seems like every time I'm up here, I'm following Owen, which is a difficult act to follow. So I'm going to try to have as much enthusiasm as Owen, but we'll see here. As we talk about the survey and finances, it's going to be a little tough. All right, so who all took the survey? Let me see a show of hands. Okay, most people in here, that's great. So we had, if you all recall, it was in December. We will be doing it again for those of you that did not put your hand up. We will be doing something like this again. We had 122 responses. And just so you know, we read all of them, just in case you were wondering. So that's always fun. And overall, 93% overall satisfied with the club. That's very consistent with past years. One thing to note about that, very interesting, is that people that have been in the club less than 5 years is slightly lower satisfaction. So that's something that we are all thinking about and considering. And just to give you an idea of the types of stuff that we look at when we do this survey. And let's see, 95+% feel Rotary membership is a good value. A couple other things to highlight here. Several people commented that they like to meet on a different day of the week and or time of day. That was a consistent theme. So you see, what I put up here are not just the results, but also the takeaways to show, obviously, so when we listen to these when we read the survey results, there are some things that we are looking to implement in the future. So let's see. One thing that was exciting from the survey, 25% or 30 people said they were interested in learning more about leadership opportunities. So that's a great thing, and that continues to be a theme in the club. Many people want to do more and take leadership opportunities, and so we will continue to have those things available. Cashless payment for raffles, I thought that was a great idea. Whoever said that, but heard that more than once, I think that's a great idea. Other things, we hear you, that some said that there were a lot of asks for donations. One thing that will be coming out is we will have more segmented, targeted for different times of the year, an ask for a different purpose. And so we will try to streamline that. We hear that, and you should see that reflected. Let's see. So as far as I talked about the breakfast meetings, we're going to be looking at that. Also transparency, which leads into my next conversation, which I'll get to in a couple minutes, the financial update. But also transparency, we will be putting the board minutes on the E-raise. So you will see those in the future, the board minutes on the E-raise. I'm sure there will be very exciting readings, since I know all of you read the E-raise from top to bottom, like I do every week. Let's see. Beyond that, I think we can go to the next slide. Let's see, and we're doing a deep dive into the costs, which again, the next conversation I think will help give some more color and context to that. We are continuing to look at ways to pass savings on to members. There have obviously been a lot of changes, but basically, obviously looking to be break even with the lunches, break even with everything else, and continue to be a good value, which is reflected in the survey. Oh, thank you. Here we go. Here's the clicker. Thank you, Christy. All right, so now I got to figure out how all right, we'll see. So, and then let's see. Networking, there was a lot of feedback, a lot of great feedback. So kudos, thank you, Doug. Kudos to the young professionals in particular. Kudos to the coffee meetings. Great work by Michael Schatzman, the YPs. There was a lot of feedback that they enjoy that, so we're going to look to continue to do that and more of it. If you haven't been out to those, highly recommend. And let's see, I think that's about it for the survey. We will move on now to the most exciting thing. All right, so the money stuff, the club financial update. We try to do these periodically. As you know, the club runs 630 calendar year, and so we try to do these at least semi-annually. So I'm reporting this as of 12/31 for those of you that are keeping tabs. And so overall, the kudos to the office, Christy and Sarah doing a great job as far as managing the expenses with the revenue. So a few things to highlight there as far as the revenue goes. Revenue is higher than budgeted. We're about to enter the budgeting season for those of you interested. And so as far as why revenue is a bit higher, one is that more are moving to Flex, which, as you know, has a higher membership dues, but it allows people to have the flexibility to pay it with the meals as you go. So as of right now, for those of you interested, 50 people, 50 of the 270 members are Flex. So there's a YP Flex and then the Flex for the non-YPs. And let's see, other than that, we will talk, we're going to talk about the lunch income expenses continues to be about break even, and obviously that will continue to be the case. Expenses, so this is a good trick. For those of you that are not finance professionals, if revenues are higher, expenses lower, this is a good thing. So you can all feel great about the club. And so we are trending in the right direction. As far as a few notes to highlight on that, with expenses, so actual expenses for the year, about $34,000 under what we budgeted for, and that's primarily a number of different factors. Some of that is just timing, where some of these bills will come due after 12/31. But the rest of it, things like the rent, for example, and which I highlighted here, it is lower than what we were previously doing, and so all of that is a good thing. And lastly, I would just close, I think that was all of my slides. Yes. Lastly, I will close with anybody that has any financial questions on the club. Happy to talk about that. I am available, and let's talk the rest of the room. So,
Ryan's going to pick the ticket. I'm going to shout out, tell him red or blue. Which one do you want him to pick? Our split-to-pot winner gets $57 today. The accumulating pot is up to $1,618. And the winning ticket number is 390736. This is a blue ticket. 390736. It's yours again. 2 weeks in a row. It's donating back at least the first part. We'll see. Queen of Hearts. Congratulations. Everybody needs to come up and touch Owen with his lap. All right, 5 things that you need to know about. First of all, thank you to our committee, as well as the leader of that committee, Angie Ferguson, all of the volunteers, all of the amazing sponsors, everyone who attended. Your Rotary Foundation had a phenomenal event. Pipple-Ross, you see some of the uniforms in present, but let's give them another big round of applause. All right, March Madness right around the corner. This is an opportunity for you to participate in a fundraiser for membership development. $680 will go to membership development. $680 goes to the winners. You can win one of three ways. You enter by paying $20 per ticket. There are 68 tickets, one for each NCAA team. After all the tickets are sold, we will do a random drawing of the teams. If your team is the first one out, first one eliminated in that first game, you get your $20 back. That's one way that you can win. The second way that you can win is if you are the runner-up and you get $60. The winner of the NCAA tournament gets $600. Tickets are on sale now. We ask that you limit your purchases to 2 tickets per member until we've essentially given everyone the opportunity to participate. Number 3, Neighborhood Coffee. Michael Schatzman leading our new breakfast series every single month. The next one is February 27th at Luminary by La Terza on Hamilton Avenue. Please feel free to bring a guest. You do not have to register to attend. Again, February 27th, 8 to 10 a.m. Our next professional development series, I know, is something that everybody should participate in, so I expect to see you all here at 11 o'clock next week, before next week's meeting, when our member, Nancy Hand, will lead us in a presentation called Masterfully Navigating Communication and Connection in this stressful digital world. It's an event that you will not want to miss. And then finally, our Hands-On Service Committee is, of course, continuing its monthly series of doing work at the Free Store Food Bank. Our next monthly event is on March 2nd from 9 to 11 a.m. at their new distribution center. Please register with your E-Ray link. That's the end of the announcements. Now it is my pleasure to introduce our speaker today. Brian Gwyn took over as president of the Cincinnati market for Mercy Health just a little more than a year ago. He's a North Carolina native, born and bred. His most recent work was in North Carolina with the system Atrium Health. Spent 15 years there, but spent a lot of time in the South with other health systems. He was attracted to Mercy because of its ministry, its mission, which speaks to him, and I know speaks to so many of our members in this Lenten season. He and his wife now live in Cincinnati. They have 2 children who have followed him into the healthcare world. His son is practicing to be a chiropractor. His daughter getting ready to start dental school at the University of Louisville. Let's give a warm Rotary welcome to Brian Gwyn.
Hello, everyone. Can you hear me okay? Thank you for such a warm introduction to Cincinnati and to the Rotary Club. I was a Rotarian for many years when I was hospital president, connected to one site, and I could attend the meetings. So I feel your passion in what you do in your communities. So let's start with this. Let's give yourselves a round of applause for all the good work you do in your community, because I realize what you do. All right, so just a little bit more background. I know we touched on the surface. So I started here in Cincinnati last February, coming from Charlotte, North Carolina, the second best Queen City. And I think there's a big tennis tournament too at the Western Southern. They were kicking the tires in Charlotte. Actually, I know a lot about that because the proposed site in Charlotte was in my region. And so I knew what a bad decision that would be. I may have made a few calls through that, but we ended up with the right decision, right? So we get to keep the Western Southern here in Cincinnati. Now that I live in Deerfield Township, the traffic's going to be rough that week, but what a great economic boon for our community. So, again, my name is Brian Gwyn. I'm a North Carolina native. You probably recognize a little bit of a southern accent, maybe a touch. But people have been so generous and so kind to accept me and my wife into this community. But my purpose here today is to connect with you as a person, as an industry. I'm going to show you a lot of healthcare slides about Mercy Health, who we are and what we're about. But really, it's the connection to our community that I'm really trying to establish today. So this is the first step in a conversation, an ongoing conversation that we need to have about what you need for the health of this community and how can we be a part of that. So if you will commit to me to continue that relationship, I would greatly appreciate it. Raise your hand if you'll do that for me. If you'll continue this relationship. Thank you very much. All right, so I do like to start every meeting in our Mercy Health system with mission, vision, values. It honestly is the reason I left Charlotte, North Carolina after a 15-year career with Atrium Health. I was a market president in Charlotte. Great city, great growth, great health care in Charlotte, but when I saw the ministry connection in Cincinnati, I knew this was the right place for me. So when I interviewed with the board and a lot of the physicians, I knew this was the place I needed to be to talk about Jesus openly, and we could profess our faith. To me, that was the biggest difference on why I'm here. So I get to ask that a lot. Why did you leave Charlotte to come to Cincinnati? Now, the truth is, I've been asked this too, I like Cincinnati better than Charlotte. Have y'all been to Charlotte? Charlotte's great. It's a big city, but it's becoming a big city. And getting downtown for Panthers, by the way, I mean, come on. Did you see their record? They're only good at getting their first-round draft pick every year. That's not a good story to tell. But I do love Cincinnati. There are so many great things here that I'm experiencing, and just the people are so welcoming. So I'm looking forward to the partnership with you moving forward into the future. All right, Mercy Health. Mercy Health is a big system, and we're very proud of how large we are, but the survival in healthcare will depend on moving together into healthcare. We're going to talk about that a little bit at the end of this presentation about the state of healthcare. But Bon Secours Mercy Health is a $12 billion company. And you can see all the states that we're in. We've got 47 hospitals in the U.S. and in Ireland. Actually, the Ireland campuses are some of the most successful that we've got in the ministry. And so if anybody wants to tour with me to Ireland, we'll take a trip and go see the healthcare there. But this takeaway slide shows you the scale and depth of Bon Secours Mercy Health. There are 6 health systems in Cincinnati, all great health systems. But truly, we're the only nationally based health system in Cincinnati with Bon Secours Mercy Health. And we call ourselves Mercy Health. The Virginia section is more the Bon Secours and we're the Mercy. But we have a lot of talent and expertise throughout the ministry at a corporate level that we can tap into and hopefully move a little bit faster. So when we get into our local presence, I was a little bit shocked when I came to Cincinnati, and I knew that the Mercy brand, but I tell people I believe we're the best kept secret in Cincinnati. We've got a lot of providers, we've got a lot of sites, we've got a lot of hospitals, but we may not be the first thought when you think about healthcare. We're in a lot of our communities, but that is part of my goal, is to tell you how great we are. So please bear with me. This is going to seem a little bit like a brag session, but I do need you to know how great Mercy Health is. So this slide is very different. You can see this is a greater Cincinnati map. All these dots are our presence in Cincinnati. Are there any providers in the room? Healthcare professionals, physicians? Okay. I see one in the back. That's good. So I always like to acknowledge our healthcare professionals. It's a very tough business, but as we keep moving forward, we got to keep growing for the right reasons. So when we look at this map, you can see 6 hospitals. We built our 6th hospital in Kings Mills, which was an underserved area for inpatient care, so we made that investment. We've got 10 EDs spread throughout the Cincinnati market, and that has led us to be, we're the #1 provider of ED service in Cincinnati. Hands down, it's not even close. We've got 250,000 people visiting our Mercy departments every year. So we're here in your communities to service you when you need us. We'll talk a little bit more about moving to the future and how we move to the value world with ambulatory surgery and lowering the cost of care. So we're really moving into that space of lowering the cost of health care, but we're investing in those sites as well. Currently, we have about 10,000 associates that work for Mercy Health, and they're spread out all over Cincinnati. But it's a pretty big team. Now, we've got the right team in place to move us forward. It's really just aligning. So I look forward to this journey here in Cincinnati, but we've got a really great place to start. So, 2023 was a fantastic year. I landed in February, and we just hit the ground running. We've already built our strategic plan for the next 5 years. So that was the first thing I did. I need to level set and figure out where are we and where do we need to be in the next 5 years. Honestly, after 5 years, it gets a little fuzzy because the payment system's going to change with the value-based models of population health. But for the next 5 years, we have a really good handle on what we need to do to be successful and competitive in this market. So a couple of great successes from last year. We did build the new Kings Mills Hospital. Has anybody seen it? We've got one person who's seen it. I'd love to host a meeting there or do a tour there. It's an amazing site. The best part about that hospital, I mean, it's a state-of-the-art hospital. It's got some of the coolest stuff that you will ever see in a healthcare institution, but the chapel in that place is amazing. So when we tour, we've got to go see the chapel. It's wired for high-tech medicine that we are preparing for in the future. So we have built this facility to be future-proof. So Kings Mills is an amazing site. It's only 60 beds. We do believe that there will be less inpatients in the future, but the patients who are coming in as inpatients, they'll be really sick. So we're moving most of the volume to outpatient, but the 60 beds we feel like will be serviced adequately with the right provider. We added 7 urgent cares last year in Cincinnati. So if you think about your business and you put a business plan together, how difficult would it be to start 7 new businesses in 1 year? We landed 7 urgent cares all throughout Cincinnati last year. We've got a plan already to put 3 more in market at the first of this year, but the urgent care model is part of our growth strategy that we need to be in your area when you need us for convenient care. So that has been a fantastic model for us, and we're going to continue to replicate that throughout Cincinnati. We won't go through all these, but we are an active partner in graduate medical education. We're continuing to train our providers in our sites. So we've got emergency medicine, internal medicine, family practice. So we're training the future state of our medical field right here at our Mercy sites. Now I know you see in other sites, they do that as well, but we need to make sure that our providers are going to be in some of the outlying markets. A lot of people don't want to work in more rural type suburban areas. They want to work in center city. So we're investing in our own medical staff to make sure we're going to be able to take great care of people for many, many years to come. I did have to put this up here, the #1 banner. This is official, really, but when we look at the market position for inpatient share, Mercy Health is #1. Anybody know that? So you think UC, Tri-Health, St. Elizabeth, Children's, Christ, Mercy Health has more inpatient admissions in all of our 6 hospitals combined than any of the competitors in Cincinnati. Most people are shocked by that. They think, well, I know they're in our market, but how much volume do they do? We have 1,500 inpatient beds, and they stay pretty full in your communities, providing excellent care. We're also, again, #1 in ED service. So there's 250,000 patients that come through every year. It's not even close. We're #1. So I do want to make sure we level set with some of the data. I didn't make it up. We pull it up every year. Market share-wise, we're probably about 35% of the market. The next closest competitor is about 20%. So it's a big gap as far as inpatient share. Now that tells me, coming into Cincinnati, there's a ton of confidence with the Mercy brand. People trust Mercy, they trust their providers, and they need that health care. They trust us to take great care of them. There's a lot of awards on the right side of this page. We're not going to go over this, but I will tell you, cardiac, we don't claim to be the cardiac hospital, but we win national awards every year in TAVR. We recruited some specialists to the Mercy sites. They're experts in mitral valve replacement. They're the best in the country right here at Mercy Health. A lot of people don't know that, but that's something we're going to start talking about. The Jewish Hospital is a top cancer hospital in the country right here in Cincinnati. And I've had many, many people tell me, you didn't know that Jewish was part of the Mercy system. A lot of people don't know that, but they are part of our family, and the same standard of care and expectations are there. But Jewish Hospital is a world-class leader in partnership with OHC. We provide some of the best cancer care, particularly blood cancer, in the whole country right here in Cincinnati. Now that is something we're talking about in the Bon Secours Mercy system is, in Toledo, in Paducah, and other markets that we have, we may send patients from Paducah or Lima or the other Toledo sites to Mercy as we become bigger and a more regional hub for truly exceptional world-class care. So look forward to telling you more about that in the future. And then last but not least, we do win a lot of patient safety, patient experience award. We're top hospitals in most every standard. Medical group. This is a busy slide, and one thing I do want you to take away from this is we've got 123 Mercy locations spread, and that doesn't count the urgent care, just primary care and specialists throughout Cincinnati. We've got 1 million patient visits, 500,000 primary care, and over that is specialty care. So it's a big system, and the care that we provide is amazing. When we look at the statistics, we're always top decile in most of those awards and the quality metrics. So we do a really good job, and this is a selfish plug. If you need a great primary care doctor, come talk to me because we're recruiting every year. We added 25 doctors last year to meet the needs of our community. So we're continuing to invest in the talented medical staff to make sure you have the health care that you need in your community. This is just a highlight reel of some of the fun we had last year. Again, the Kings Mills open house, the magnet status, we were re-verified in magnet, and a lot of the nursing people know what magnet status is. That is the top of the top in nursing care for nationally, and it's a national best practice. So most of our sites have magnet designation, so we re-celebrated that last year at Fairfield. Our Hamilton County Project Heart Restart. I see my guy here, he led that. Let's give him a round of applause too. So I'm proud to be part of that. So we'll keep this here. But there's a lot of other things that we're doing in our community to connect. Now this picture is really great. This was like week 2 for me. We were just at Memorial Hall and we had a forum for all the healthcare executives. Anybody go to that? It was pretty interesting. This group of people, we got Steve Davis from Children's, Debbie from Christ, Corey from UC, Mark, and then Gary from St. Elizabeth's. Most people might assume that we don't like each other very much, but it's just the opposite. We like each other a lot, and we collaborate on a lot of things. One of the things that we do work on together is a group called the Health Collaborative. Has anybody heard of that in the room? It is a fantastic group where all the healthcare leaders, when all the hospital leadership and all the systems get together, and we talk about the problems that no one can solve. It's underserved, social determinants of health, transportation, some of the staffing challenges. But I just want you to know that we're working together collaboratively in all the health systems to solve these problems. And we do kind of like each other. So that's a bonus that we can be competitors, but we're still, and that does raise the bar. When you have competition, the bar gets raised quickly if you're trying to be the best. And then a ton of community work. I've got a whole slide on community work that we're out in the market. We're doing as much as we can to keep people safe, to get them connected to a provider, which really is the key. You've got to make sure you're in the health system. And there's so many people that don't know that or don't know how to get into it. So we're leveraging a ton of resources to make sure people know what we offer and how to connect them to healthcare. A lot of community benefit. We won't touch on this in detail, but we're investing a lot. We've got 2 brand new mammography vans, our coaches that are out in market, and we've caught a lot of breast cancer early within 1 year with these new coaches. This was a connection with our foundation. So if anybody is passionate about anything in healthcare, if you want to get involved, we do have an avenue through our foundation if you'd like to learn more or participate. But there's a lot happening in the community that does need some resources. So we can't fund everything. We'd love to, but the numbers just aren't there. We'll touch on that. But you can see a lot of the things that we're doing. Women's services, respite care, mercy-free clinics. We have those all over for people who cannot afford to seek health care. We will still take care of them. All right, I'm going to pivot a little bit. Who thinks health care is too expensive? Raise your hand. Every hand in the room probably would go up. That's true. Why do you think that is? I'm going to make this interactive a little bit. Why do you think health care is becoming very expensive? Insurance, yes. Anybody else? What? Some entities are for profit. That is true. We are not. Politics couldn't weigh into that. Cost of medication. I've got something on that. We're going to talk about that. What else? Insurance, liability. That is true too. I need one more. I need someone to hit it because when we went through COVID, what was the biggest? You say payers? Oh, lawyers? No, we actually like lawyers too.
Aging population. We're getting old.
Medication. The biggest one. Staff. Gold star. What's your name? Janet gets the gold star. Birthday girl gets the gold star. It's the staffing piece. So as we went through COVID, y'all remember that? It was tough. A lot of people got out of health care. A lot of the outpatient stuff shut down. But we were left with an influx of patients that we weren't equipped for. And this is national. This is not just Cincinnati. I was in Charlotte at the time. But the rates that we had to pay to get back up and get people into the hospital were astronomical. So I took some screenshots this week. This was yesterday or the day before. Here are some headlines that we're reading nationally on what is the state of the system in healthcare right now. This is this week. 11 hospitals closing. Departments are ending services. 12 hospitals cutting jobs. 3 ED closures in 1 month. Texas hospitals hit hard by bankruptcies. We are not immune to this problem. It is nationally. If you look deep into the financials, most health systems are barely breaking even if they're breaking even. It's for all the reasons that you talked about. What are the big healthcare inflation factors? Prescription drugs. This slide here, I actually took this from one of the payer sites. I went to Blue Cross Blue Shield, which is Anthem here, and you can see prescription drug prices escalated by 136%. They pass that cost on to us. We may get a discounted rate, but it is still astronomically high for the health systems. Labor costs increased 258%. That is contract labor. So this is the agency labor that came in. Increased 258%. Our normal day-to-day staffing is up by about 25%. So any business people in the room, take your cost of goods and your labor and multiply it times 30%. What happens? You might have problems, right? Maybe it could be a problem if you got 30% increase in labor and drug costs. Malpractice, it is through the gamut. Everything through COVID went up dramatically. Now this slide shows our Medicare payments. This is the bar on the right, Medicare payments versus the growth of expenses. And they did not keep up. We're lucky to break even on Medicare. We probably lose on all Medicaid service just because the payment's not there to cover the cost. So that does leave some challenges for us on what are we going to focus on and how do we even break even? Because there are some for-profit health systems, they'll make tough decisions to make a profit. we're making tough decisions to move forward. We're not for profit. Our goal is to break even and provide the ministry all throughout our markets. And let me be clear on that. We're not a for-profit. We do have to do things to focus our efforts, but a lot of this we didn't cause. We're just trying to react and build a better plan on how we're going to make it through this crisis. So even though COVID's over, we're still in a little bit of a down spiral financially for most of the health systems. So here's some additional healthcare trends that we're seeing nationally. And these are important because they apply to us too here in Cincinnati. We're struggling to return to pre-COVID findings. Before COVID, we were breaking even and doing okay, then we dropped below, and it's been a real struggle to try to get back. Healthcare systems are searching for scale and expertise, and this is true. And when you merge systems occasionally, you can reduce overhead, you have expertise that comes together, the revenue cycle may improve. So there's some advantages to doing that. But that is something nationally that is happening. We will see more of this in the next 5 years than we've seen in the last 20 years with mergers and acquisitions. I believe people will have to do it to survive the healthcare journey. Migration to ambulatory and home-based settings, and we're already doing that. We're already on the pivot to move from hospital-based to ambulatory for the value side. When I ask that question, who thinks healthcare is too expensive? Everyone does. They don't understand the payment mechanism, but we do understand we have to lower the cost of healthcare. In general, it is a fact. We have to do it. So one of the ways we're doing that is shifting from hospital-based surgery to outpatient surgery, which is more efficient in cost. If you have imaging, we're trying to go from hospital-based imaging to outpatient. We're trying to keep people healthy as much as we can. Now that's a two-way street because we can have a great plan that people don't follow, and what happens? The health does not improve. So we need some compliance as well to make sure people are staying healthy in their communities. This last one, digital and AI, we are really leaning into that space because there are ways to treat patients with virtual care, predictive analytics. Has anybody delved into that at all and studied that at all? It is pretty powerful on what AI predictive analytics can do, but then there's the gene sequencing on when we can predict what might happen in a health state. So we're investing in those technologies and resources to make sure we're prepared for the future. So as we move to 2024, what is Mercy Health's strategic priorities? And right in the middle is what we believe, and we will always stay true to this. This is who we are as a ministry, and we will always stay true to this. But we also have to address growth and access. So new patients or new people are moving to Cincinnati. We have to make sure, it's our job to make sure they have a healthcare system they can trust. So we're going to lean into growth and access. Working together as one health system. That is something, as Bon supports Mercy Health, we're going to do a better job of that because we have some resources that we have that other systems can learn for that are in the ministry. So many people don't know this too. We have a pretty great lab situation. It's called a core lab, where we get samples from all over Mercy Health coming into West Hospital in Cincinnati. So we built out a core lab, so we send all those samples in to one location, and then we can easily send those results back out. It is a super efficient model, and most people wouldn't understand that it's in West Hospital. They might not even believe it, but we invested heavily in that to stay ahead of the curve of the technology. World-class experience. I think Cincinnati deserves the best health care in the world, not only nationally, but why can we not be a player to where we're moving patients from Toledo or Kentucky to Cincinnati? That is my goal, is to build the infrastructure we're able to do that. And the last one is innovation. So this is a busy slide. This is Bon Secours Mercy Health in the middle. This is some of the things that we're working on in innovation. So it's busy, but we're very busy in the space. So we've got Nordic, which is our IT platform. which is all through the ministry. And as we do a great job, we might be a vendor to other people who want to tap into that resource. So that is good for healthcare as we figure out what is the best practice. Ensemble Health Partners has been a great project for us. That is our revenue cycle company that we have. And we sell that all over the country. So we figured out how to have an efficient revenue cycle at Mercy, and now other systems can tie into that and see some gains from our expertise. So we're going to try to do that often. And we've got a lot of things on here with Conduit, Health Partners, Harness Health Partners, Atlantis. Grotto is a new AI company that we've invested in. So the AI space is going to be big. And if you've used ChatGPT, do you know what that is? Everybody knows what ChatGPT is, right? When you look at AI in health technology, they can do a preliminary read on a lot of things. So we're going to save a lot of time. We'll save a lot of lives. We'll have a physician overview of that, but it's giving you the summary of the studies early, and we can screen people out and get them moved to the top to get the physician. So stay tuned to AI and the virtual piece. It is going to be a game changer. Now, even right now, in Cincinnati today, we've got patients with congestive heart failure in their home, and we have analytics on those patients. They agree, they want to make sure we know what's happening. We can get their height, their weight, their blood sugar. We can get all kinds of data. We can see if we need to intervene with a virtual technology visit in their home. We dial them up. We notice that their blood sugar dropped, or their blood pressure's up, or their weight's off. So we just had some good examples of we've saved patient lives and reduced readmissions by being interactive with our patients in their home. So watch for that technology. It's going to be the next wave of what we do. And this is important. I respect what you do with the Rotary Club. Again, I was a Rotarian for many, many years, and who knows, maybe I'll come back. I mean, seems like a nice deal, right? But I understand this too. The people in this room, and this is all big cities, all communities, this is the leadership of Cincinnati. You look around this room, who can make a difference? All right, look around the room. Who do you see in here? Are these people in this room the difference makers in Cincinnati? Many of them are. Connected with health leadership. We're going to need your help to move forward. So you made a commitment early on. You will help us during this journey. But I'm proud to come talk to you today about what's happening in healthcare. I'm not going to shy away from the challenges. The challenges are real. Most people don't know about them. But I think you should understand what we're facing. So when we have to make decisions, you understand what we're saying. But the leadership in this room will move us forward. And I'm already proud to be in this group today, and I'm so thankful. He was explaining that there's a pretty long list. You got to make the cut to get up here. So I feel very honored to be part of this group today and share Mercy Health and how proud I am of Mercy Health. So again, give us a shot. If you need primary care or you need some physician care, we're doing an amazing job. I just want you to know how great we are doing. But one other piece, if you're interested, particularly in healthcare, underserved, it's like the mammo van or things that resonate with you personally, you want to get involved, we have a very active foundation. Many people may know Missy Dieter. She's our foundation chair here in Cincinnati. But if you want to get connected, call me, call Missy. We'd love to have you be part of that journey too. Because it's going to take more than what we have today to really get this right. What questions? Now, those are the questions too. It's okay if they're hard questions. Maybe not too hard. Yes, sir. You're the lawyer, right?
I'm the lawyer.
Uh-oh. Get ready. Yeah.
I've spent 40 years dealing with Medicare and Medicaid, and the political football is moving so fast and unbelievable. I am in favor of the government getting to negotiate with the pharmaceutical companies to get some decent prices. We pay way more think there are too many intermediaries in this whole medical situation from an insurance standpoint, causing many of the problems that we have and raising the costs.
Thank you. Yeah, absolutely. It's an amazing question. Did y'all hear the question? It's drug costs. What's controlling the cost of drugs? So even since I've only been here a year, I'm with the OHA, Ohio Healthcare Association. I'm also on the AHA. I'm one of the regional board members for our region for the American Hospital Association. Mercy's big, but we need a much louder voice. So we're going through the OHA, which is all hospitals in Ohio, and the AHA, which is a national, and they carry a big stick, honestly. But it's got to get to the legislation. We have to make sure, and we look at some of the lobbyists for the drug companies. I mean, we see what the AHA lobbying budget is. It's like this much. And the drug company lobbyist budget is like this much. So, I mean, I'm not making a position on that. I'm just saying, look at the facts. How much invested in this. So we got to have more investment to get the right story about. Most people don't understand the drug costs moving 30% in the last couple of years. They just blame it on health care. So we need to pull together, sir, and I may ping you offline and see if we can get some more input from your perspective.
I'll buy you lunch. How about
I'm
that?
sorry?
I'll
I'll
buy you
take you up
lunch.
on it. Yes, sir. Great question, and thank you again for sponsoring this piece today. Let's give her a big round of applause, too. I am an AHA or AAA member, AAA. My daughter's not a great driver, so with the flat tires, so I do invest in that. But what can we do? So the ministry is taking a little bit of a different position. So a lot of it's marketing. We've got our marketing campaign, which is brand. We're getting more detailed in telling the stories. And to me, this is storytelling. We need to hear how patients' lives are affected. So I'm telling those stories. We've got some creative collateralists getting ready to come out. I'm a big video guy too. So I like to hear the patient's perspective. Let the patient tell the story. So we're leaning into that. But as far as the brand presence, a lot of people still, even though we advertise and we spend a lot on that, they don't know Mercy is the #1 health system in Cincinnati. Plus, I'm trying to get out and meet new friends. So if you have groups you'd like for me to come talk to or connections, now I'm serious about the connection piece. If you have an idea or a need, we need to talk about how can I help you meet your need. So we've got a plan to address that. Big systems do take a little bit more time to we're kind of the aircraft carrier a little bit instead of the battleship. We like to move a little faster, but we are pretty big.
So Brian, thank you again for participating. We have a great corporate membership program chaired by Cheryl Parker, so she'll be happy to talk with you about membership in the Rotary Club. As a thank you for your presentation today, we're presenting you with a coin that has the best skyline of any Queen City in the world, and as well our 4-way test on the back. We'll also be making a donation in your name to the End Polio Now campaign of Rotary International. Let's give them another big round of applause. So one committee meeting today, World Affairs in the registrar room downstairs. Don't forget by 5 p.m. tomorrow, make sure you register for next week's meeting, which is something we all look forward to, the 4-way speech contest. Thank you, Brian, for creating hope in our world. All of you go out and create hope in the world. Meeting adjourned.